Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a lonely little dog. The dog had lost its parents when it was very young and had to wander the streets. It was gentle but timid, often bullied by other dogs. It had no choice but to hide in street corners, sleeping beside cold trash bins, and barely surviving by scavenging leftover food. In this same town, there was a little boy named Xiao Heng. He was a kind-hearted child who always loved helping others. One day, on his way home from school, Xiao Heng saw the frail little dog curled up next to a trash bin. Its eyes were filled with sadness. Feeling sorry for the dog, Xiao Heng gently approached it, crouched down, and softly stroked its head. At first, the dog was scared, but as it sensed Xiao Heng's kindness, it gradually relaxed. Xiao Heng smiled and took out some bread from his school bag. He offered it to the dog, saying softly, "Here, little dog, have some bread." The dog seemed to understand his words, licked Xiao Heng's hand, and devoured the bread hungrily. After eating, the dog looked up at Xiao Heng with eyes full of gratitude. Xiao Heng gently patted its head and said softly, "I have to go home now. Goodbye, little dog." With that, he stood up and walked toward his house. The little dog didn't want to part with Xiao Heng and quietly followed him. When Xiao Heng reached his home and turned around, he found the dog still trailing behind him. He crouched down and whispered, "Do you want to come home with me?" The dog barked excitedly as if answering, "Yes." Xiao Heng felt conflicted because he knew his mother wouldn't allow a dog in the house. But looking into the dog's hopeful eyes, he couldn't bear to refuse. In the end, Xiao Heng decided to secretly bring the dog home. He carefully opened the door, ensuring his mother wasn't around, and carried the dog inside. He brought the dog to the bathroom and gave it a warm bath, washing away all the dirt. After the bath, he dried it with a clean towel and took it to his room. The dog followed obediently, its eyes filled with anticipation. Sitting by his bed, Xiao Heng thought of a name for the dog. After a moment, he said, "You look like a little fur ball. From now on, your name will be Mao Mao." The dog seemed to love the name, wagging its tail excitedly. That evening, when Xiao Heng's mother came home, he hid Mao Mao in the closet. He whispered to Mao Mao to stay quiet. Later that night, after his mother went to bed, Xiao Heng carefully opened the closet. He brought Mao Mao onto his bed, letting it sleep under the covers with him. That night, Xiao Heng held Mao Mao as they slept. For the first time, Mao Mao felt warmth and security, snuggling close to Xiao Heng. The next morning, Xiao Heng's mother walked into his room and saw Mao Mao napping on the bed. Surprised, she asked, "Xiao Heng, what's going on? Why is there a dog here?" Xiao Heng quickly got up, holding Mao Mao tightly, and pleaded, "Mom, this is Mao Mao. It has no home and no one to take care of it. Can we please adopt it?" His mother frowned and sighed, explaining, "Xiao Heng, we don't have the money to take care of a dog. Our own life is already difficult enough." Tears welled up in Xiao Heng's eyes as he hugged Mao Mao tightly. He choked out, "But Mao Mao is so pitiful, I can't let it go back to the streets. It needs a home, it needs us." Seeing her son's tear-filled eyes, his mother felt heartbroken but still shook her head. She gently patted Xiao Heng's head and said, "I know you care about it, but we truly can't afford this. Maybe it will find a better home." Despite Xiao Heng's repeated pleas, his mother remained steadfast in her decision. In the end, Xiao Heng had no choice but to carry Mao Mao back to the alley where they first met. Mao Mao seemed to understand that they were about to part and hung its head low. Xiao Heng gently stroked it and said, "Mao Mao, no matter what, I'll come to see you every day. I'll bring you food and we'll always be friends." He hugged Mao Mao tightly before reluctantly leaving. From that day on, Xiao Heng visited the alley every day after school. He brought food and water for Mao Mao, carefully cleaning it with a damp cloth. He even brought small toys to play with it. One day, Xiao Heng brought a ball to play with Mao Mao. While playing, he accidentally kicked the ball down a steep hill. He set his bag aside and carefully went down to retrieve it. However, he lost his footing, tumbled down the hill and hit his head on a rock. Blood trickled down his forehead and he lost consciousness. Seeing this, Mao Mao immediately grabbed Xiao Heng's school bag. It ran as fast as it could to Xiao Heng's home, barking desperately outside the door. It ran as fast as it could to Xiao Heng's home, barking desperately outside the door. But Mao Mao didn't give up and continued barking tirelessly. Finally, his mother noticed something unusual and opened the door. Mao Mao dropped Xiao Heng's bag at her feet and barked anxiously in the direction of the hill. Realizing something was wrong, she followed Mao Mao to the hill. There, she found Xiao Heng lying unconscious, pale and covered in blood. She immediately called for help, and neighbors rushed over to assist. Together, they carried Xiao Heng up the hill and called for an ambulance. In the ambulance, Xiao Heng's mother held his hand tightly, tears streaming down her face. Mao Mao stayed close to Xiao Heng, comforting him with its warm body. It seemed to say, "I'll stay with you." At the hospital, doctors worked urgently to stop Xiao Heng's bleeding. At the hospital, doctors worked urgently to stop Xiao Heng's bleeding. He should wake up soon. His mother sighed in relief, finally feeling some hope. The doctor added, "It's a good thing you brought him in quickly." A little later, and he could have been in serious danger. Hearing this, Xiao Heng's mother hugged Mao Mao tightly, overwhelmed with gratitude. A few hours later, Xiao Heng woke up to see his mother and Mao Mao by his side. He smiled weakly and reached out to stroke Mao Mao's head. Mao Mao gently licked Xiao Heng's hand, as if to say, "You're finally awake." His mother said tearfully, "Xiao Heng, Mao Mao saved you. It stayed by your side the whole time." After this incident, Xiao Heng's mother decided to adopt Mao Mao. She told Xiao Heng, "Mao Mao is now part of our family. Let's take care of it together." Xiao Heng nodded excitedly, thrilled by the news. A few days later, Xiao Heng returned home from the hospital. Mao Mao happily wagged its tail, feeling truly at home. From that day on, Mao Mao accompanied Xiao Heng everywhere. The once lonely little dog had finally found a loving home. As time passed, Mao Mao and Xiao Heng grew up together. They shared countless happy moments and became the best of friends. Their bond was a testament to love, loyalty, and the power of kindness.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Your support motivates me to keep creating more content. Once again, thank you.